sports fans all over the world. It's your boy Mac the Giants fan here with my guys, the horsemen, Adam Coastas, Zion Zenith. Y'all know what time it is. It's the Premium Takes Podcast. Let's go. Oh.
Premium Takes Podcast back in your life on a wonderful evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you're watching. I'm your host for today, Zion Zenith, and we're going to get into it. That was Macdagiantsfan, obviously coming in fire with that intro as always, and that's Adam Coastas. What we're going to be talking about today is obviously we're going to recap last night's game, not take too much time on it because it wasn't as interesting as it was good. Don't get me wrong. It was a good game, but it wasn't like Uncle Joe was out there throwing football all over the yard. That was a fun matchup we had last week. But before we get into that, we are going to start by talking about the World Series. The Dodgers are over there in Toronto playing the Blue Jays right now. And I figured I'm not really a baseball fan. I'm not big on the baseball, but I'm a Dodgers fan. I'm a super casual Dodgers fan. Only followed the Dodgers because Ohtani signed there a couple years ago. And I just wanted to say before I open it up to the boys, I'm just super happy. I'm super happy that I'm getting into baseball at a time where we just have a stacked lineup, and I think it's kind of unfair to the rest of the competition. And I know Adam wants to say a couple of things too, because he's the reason why we're gonna have this good conversation about a player that actually plays on my team, which I truly believe is the best player in baseball right now in Ohtani. And the one thing I do like about this team is we have players at all different positions that just does the job extremely well. And even if like the hitters are not hitting, you know, the role players are on I don't know what you call it. This is my inexperience of watching baseball, but the backup of the lineup, I guess, the later bats, the 7, 8, and 9s, you know, they step up and they do their thing on offense, and that's what I love seeing because you know hitters are gonna have those times where they don't go on a streak, right? They get kind of dry. I don't know what that actual term is called in baseball. But, you know, Ohtani went through it this season. You see Mookie Betts go in it. Munchie, all the hitters on this team goes through it. And in baseball, and I just say, like, shout out to Toronto. They have a stacked team, but I don't think it compares to what we bring to the table. And I just think we're going to repeat. But I'm going to stop talking about and gloating over the Dodgers. I'm going to open it up to the boys. I'm going to let Adam begin. Adam, what's your thoughts about the Dodgers and that certain player you want to talk about, that Ohtani?
Well,
Shohei Ohtani.
First off, it's good to have a iconic franchise back in the World Series as the LA Dodgers. You know, they're originally from New York, people, Brooklyn, and they moved to LA back in the day. So you have a little affinity for them. But the player that they have, Ohtani, if you know, I've been sleeping under a rock most of baseball, but to follow this guy and what he's done in the postseason and recently to get to the World Series where he had 3 home runs and, you know, struck out 10 people, that's amazing. And, you know, maybe I know Max said it years ago, but he's the modern day Babe Ruth, but you haven't seen the modern day Babe Ruth put it on display like that in a game so meaningful, right? It's one thing to do in the regular season, which we would have honored it and said, yeah, that's cool. But to do it on an elimination game and be the focal reason why you are in the playoffs, that's where the superstar steps up. And people, if you don't like baseball, I'll tell you this. Watch this series. I was watching Ohtani's first at bat because I was just sitting down, relaxing before the show, and I'm looking at him like, this is why you come to the ballpark, because of a showstopper like this, a guy who is transcending the game right now, who's doing something that we haven't seen in our lifetime. I mean, it's heard about. Remember, we talk about the Sandlot, the Legend of Babe Ruth, and all this stuff. We've heard about it. We have it going on right now. And I think we need to really, as just, even if you're a semi-casual like me, where, you know, you watch it occasionally, go to a game here and there, it's good to admire the greats, because when we sit back and we're sitting here talking about the McGuires, the Sosas, you know, the Jeters, the, you know, whoever, Kyle Ripken, the big main dogs that you talk about. I mean, there's plenty more in baseball. Those are a few that just popped in my head randomly, but you can't forget about Big Papi and Manny Ramirez, Pedro. The list goes on and on. My point is, you sit back and you want to enjoy guys like this. And for me, this World Series is a little different because I want to see both Vlad Guerrero and Ohtani do well. Vlad, I loved his father growing up, watched him for the Expos and bounce around the league. And just every time he came at bat, I would always stop to just watch it, just to see what he would do next. You know what I mean? Almost like my favorite player growing up, Ken Griffey Jr., right? Anytime Ken Griffey came to the bat, you stopped and watched. And that's what Ohtani is. He's a guy you have to sit down on your couch and watch that at bat because you don't know what's going to happen. And then if he does pitch the game as well, I don't know about you guys, but in my lifetime, I've never seen a pitcher hit. When I watched baseball when I was younger, and even to these days now, a pitcher wasn't wasn't the best hitter. They usually were an out, right? But you had to put him in the game because of the ballpark you played in. Not everybody had a DH, so sometimes he had to be in the lineup, right? So not many. I'm not saying they didn't hit him. Bartolo Colon, yeah, he hit a home run every once in a while for the Mets and stuff, but was he really that great of a hitter? No, right? Was Andy Pettit ever a great hitter? Roger, those guys aren't known for their hitting. They're known for pitching. So the fact that this guy can go out and then do this and pitch a game in a magnitude like this and in the fashion that he did is something to behold. So I just wanted to say, if you're not watching the World Series, at least follow what he's doing because of the greatness. As for Vlad Guerrero, I hope he does well. His father never got over the hump. He's finally in the World Series where his dad could never really accomplish, but, was always on, in the playoffs and on the cusp. But that's why I have an affinity for both teams. So that's all I really want to say about what I'm seeing in the World Series. I don't care who wins. But the Dodgers ace that they got on the mound today, 22 years old, not Dodgers, Toronto ace, 22 years old, striking out Ohtani, that was big time. But that's all I got to say right now. The game's going on. We'll give you updates as it goes.
Well said, Adam. Over to you, Mac. And what's up, AK? Thank you so much for joining us, Eagles Uncensored.
As far as the World Series, I don't really got much on the actual World Series itself because once the Mets shit to bed, I pretty much tuned baseball out. But Shohei Ohtani, man, I said a couple of years ago, even when he's still wearing an Angels uniform, this dude is legitimately a modern day Babe Ruth. No one has been this prolific ever at being. He's like one of the absolute best starting pitchers in all of baseball. He's one of the just best. Obviously, one of the best hitters in baseball as well. I mean, the power hitters, and for sure. I mean, this guy is like Godzilla, literally like Godzilla, man. Like, for real. He's just, to me, you go even take another step. I take another step with Ohtani, man. Like, to me, talk about generational talent. This dude is arguably already, you can say, is the best player of this generation. Like, legitimately. Just, I mean, the things he does, it's just special. The NLCS to go out there and what was that? That was the game that clinched their spot in the World Series. We hit the 3 home runs.
Yes.
And just to perform like that on that stage in that moment, I mean, that's just greatness. That is absolute greatness right before our eyes. We're when we watch Shohei Ohtani play, man, baseball. You're watching when it's all said and done. May possibly say that he's the best to ever do it. Period. In any generation. And in any generation, I mean, but right now, I think he is by far. And we've had a lot of great players come through here, man. A lot of great baseball players over the years. I've seen a lot of greatness in my lifetime. I ain't never seen nothing like this. Right. This is special stuff here. And I mean, just as a fan, like I'm pretty much kind of more or less a casual fan as well when it comes to baseball, but I just enjoy every time, any moment I get to watch Shohei Ohtani. I enjoy every moment of it because he's going to put on a show, whether he's on the mound or whether he's at the batter's box. Man, this guy is as legit as it gets, man. I just ain't never seen nothing like it, man. So, and as far as the series, Toronto, man, great effort getting there. And everything, but I just think it's going to be a little too much of Shohei Ohtani, as well as Kershaw and all the other Dodgers greats that they have. It's a great baseball team. They are absolutely loaded, and I feel like they're a dynasty right now, kind of until somebody can prove otherwise.
But
absolutely. What's up, Bookends? Back over to you, Adam.
I just want to say, like, this is a box office player. He's a guy that if you have a chance to go see him, you need to go see him because you know, like those that got to watch Michael Jordan, those that got to watch Kobe Bryant, he is that in his sport. Okay. And in baseball, it's just more epic because normally you don't play both sides of the ball in most sports, right? In basketball and hockey, and a lot of those sports where like that you play both sides, but in baseball, football, and a lot of these things, you don't always play both sides. So the fact that he's doing it at a level that hasn't been done is something we've got to be like, we got to put this guy in the pantheon of all timers because to do it on like Deion Sanders he was a good receiver and a good corner, but he wasn't a Hall of Fame receiver and a Hall of Fame corner. This guy's a Hall of Fame pitcher and Hall of Fame batter. Like that's insane. That is insane to think about. That this guy, correct me if I'm wrong, he's a good pitcher, right? You would think that if his career continues, he'll be in Cooperstown, right? But if you put his offense out there too, are they going to give him double busts? Because that would be something that's iconic, right? Like he's doing something I've never seen, you've never seen, and if he does get on this trajectory and go to the Hall of Fame, I give him 2 busts. I give him his pitching bust, and I give him his batting bust.
Absolutely, love the points you guys all made, and to be completely honest, like I was saying, I'm a casual baseball fan, but he's the reason why I became a Dodgers fan, right? What was that, Adam?
Is he that good of a pitcher? Like, am I?
No, and he's a great pitcher, and that's what I love about this team. It's almost as if like not that he doesn't have to pitch, but he doesn't have to pitch because they got Snell and they got Yomo. So it's like this is just OP at every position.
Question?
You know what I'm saying?
So does he play every night in the lineup too? Like, so is he an everyday batter?
No, he's a batter. Right now, he's not pitching that much. He's a batter. He's pitching if he has to. But Yomo and Snell.
He's a starting pitcher. He starts. He's in a rotation, starting pitching rotation. So whenever it's not his night to start, it's starting on now. He's damn sure batting. Damn right. He's absolutely batting.
So he's that good of a pitcher too.
Yes,
Mac.
He's both.
Not that
you say what?
He's that good of a pitcher as well. Like
absolutely, he's one of the best pitchers in all of baseball
in the league.
He's absolutely dominant.
Yeah, so the best hitters in the league, and he's one of the best pitchers in the league.
Not that I didn't want to take discredit you Zion. I just was just
no, you're good.
Both opinions because I know that he watches a lot more baseball.
Well, yeah, and I would want you to talk to Mac too because I'm just a casual and I watched less than 15 baseball games this season, and I'm just following because it's the playoffs now, and that's why I became a fan because everything you guys just said about the guy, right?
But
I used to work
at the game. He pulls you back to the game.
Yeah.
When he gets picked he gets selected to the All-Star team as both, as both.
So
there was a thing in I can't remember if it was. I don't know if it was this year in the All-Star. It was something where I don't know. They wanted him to be. He was voted maybe the starting pitcher, but he wanted to bat too. And he couldn't do that because if you're a starting pitcher, you can't bat. So it's like it was a whole thing. He is absolutely dominant whether it's on the mound, whether it's in the box. He is phenomenal both ways. He's awesome. He's one of the best at it all. He's like I said, nothing like this. I've seen a lot of great baseball players, a lot of great baseball talent over the years. Never seen anything like him. This is a kind of level of greatness that I've never witnessed with my eyes before.
And that's why it gets someone like me that has I watch UFC, I watch basketball, I watch college football, I watch the NFL. Like I got no time to watch baseball. Then Ohtani comes along and you kind of have no choice. You're like, yo, he's that good. I'm gonna make time to watch this guy.
He's the type of guy that you're gonna sit there and any person
watching the game right now as you talk. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
exactly. We all probably.
Did you see what Ohtani did last night? Mm-hmm. That's the type of player. Like I don't know if maybe it's baseball, but if I was baseball, I put him on every cover, everything. Like you got to make him what he is. And if they win the World Series right now, right this year, I think this will cement his legacy even more because, like I said last year, I do believe. He was a bit injured, so he didn't have the same dominance that he normally have. He still was Ohtani. I
don't think he didn't pitch last year. I think he took the whole year of pitching off. I think last season.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken.
I don't know if he had surgery. I have no idea. You know, I just know that he was not the guy that he was that coming in. So last year when they were in the World Series, did he get some timely hits? Yes. This year in the postseason, he was a guy. He was a dog. He was what we legends are made of, right? Heroes. What does it say? Heroes get remembered. Legends never die. This guy's a legend. This is a legend in the making, people. Like I'm just being excited about it because I don't know when the lights go out over here on this side, right? But in my lifetime, I'm going to enjoy a guy while he's here because you don't get this rarefied air every time, right? You know,
And you just said that, right? In your lifetime, right? Because we was all really too young to enjoy the greats like Babe Ruth, or like Bill Russell, Luke Chamberlain, right? And like Muhammad Ali, for example. And then you guys got to enjoy Michael Jordan, but for me, I was kind of too young. I knew who he was, I watched him, but I didn't really fully appreciate him because I was a youngster, right?
Well, I mean,
Then
Kobe was that. Kobe.
Yeah, exactly. Kobe was that guy for me. And then when you have Tom Brady, right? We all got to really appreciate what Tom Brady does. And I kind of feel like right now it's our time to be like, hey, yo, guys, we are looking at it. Like, even when Mayweather was fighting, I didn't really respect him. Not until he retired, I'm like, oh my God, this guy's 49-0, 50 after beating Conor. And like, oh, I can really respect you now. But like at the time, I didn't really make the time go out of my way to watch him box. I kind of like with this guy, it's like I kind of want to go out of my way to watch these games because it's almost like this is living in my lifetime. And I don't know what they have in the water in Japan, and they do it different in Japan, man. Baseball is just different. I was watching.
I mean, he's an all-time great athlete. I mean, like it's not any sport. Period. Like it's just. I mean, I remember years ago, I think it was ESPN did a countdown 100 all-time greatest athletes all-time. Period. If I'm not mistaken, I might be incorrect, but if I'm not mistaken, I think the top 3 on that countdown ended up being Babe Ruth, Michael Jordan, and Muhammad Ali. If I'm not mistaken. At what point, where does Ohtani fall in this right now? I mean, I know his career is still not over, but at the same time, like, where does a guy like him fall? And when you revisit that countdown,
that's what we're talking about. You're talking about transcendental guys, iconic players that you associate with that sport. Babe Ruth, everybody knows who Babe Ruth is. If you are lived under a rock, whether you watch the movie, most people know about Babe Ruth, right? The legend of Babe Ruth. Any sports fan does. Jordan is up there as well because he's everywhere. Look, he was in the news this week in NBC for hitting a free throw at a charity event or whatever it was. And he was, he hit it because he's Michael Jordan and the expectation level is what it is. That's how much pressure that guy is. That's how much the world sees of Michael Jordan. This guy is doing that in baseball. He's transcending the sport. That is something you cannot do. It's like LT in football. Transcending, changing a game or changing the way you look at a game, changing the way the way it's perceived, right? Because when you talk about legends, you're gonna talk about we're talking about Jordan. To this day, we talk about Jordan. To this day, we talk about Brady, right? Like we're always comparing the greatest of all time. This guy could be that in our era.
I mean, like, even adding names like Joe Montana, his name still comes up till this day.
Exactly.
And he played football like over 25 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Like he played football. He played football over 40 years ago. Okay, people.
Over 40 years ago. Yeah, that's crazy. My math was out there, like crazy.
That's what I'm saying. We're still talking about of most of the quarterbacks in that era of Montana. We're just talking about Montana. That's how good Montana is. Same thing with Wayne Gretzky. Same thing with Michael Jordan. Same thing with with Babe Ruth. Now you have Shohei Ohtani, who's doing it on both sides of the ball, on both offense and defense, and performing at a high level. And it's not like one or the other. It's not like he's a great pitcher and a lousy hitter, or a great hitter and a lousy pitcher. He's good at both, and that is insane to think about. So all I want to say is buckle up and enjoy the ride, because even if you don't like baseball, if he's on your TV, follow him, watch him taking that bat swing, because you never know when that swing is going to be a ballparker or a historic moment, because that's the type of player he is.
Well, even to have this conversation, like even just the surrounding cast too, right? Because I was always the one who say like, I'm not gonna watch baseball. Like I'm not gonna wait. Like I used to exaggerate. I'm not gonna wait an hour to see one good play, right? But watching the Dodgers over the span of this playoffs, you just seen it right now on the TV. A nice play like that. They got two people out, and it happened in the span just like that. Like and I just love the excitement because he's on a team. Not that he's saying he couldn't get it done with the Angels. He probably wouldn't have gotten it done with the Angels because it takes a surrounding cast. But like I just think the history is just written white that he goes to the Dodgers. They acquire I'm sorry, Matt, because it must fucking suck for the rest of the league. But like they acquire all these fucking playmakers around him, and it's just like boom after boom. They're taking out top level competition, and it's like boom after boom, and it's like now they're taking on the Blue Jays, and the Blue Jays are one of the top teams. Obviously, they made it there for a reason, and it's just like the surrounding cast. Like he's not even on the field, but the fucking players that's on the team is just elevated, right? Because it's like Tom Brady throwing it to the receivers, Patrick Mahomes throwing it to the receivers. They elevate everybody. Great fucking players elevate. Jordan elevated the whole fucking team of the Chicago Bulls, and that's how they was to be able to win 6 fucking championships and shit like that, 3 back-to-back, and then did it again. And that being said, it's something about these fucking greatness and these special players that elevates it. And we have a couple of people that just joined the chat. We got Mosley. Thank you so much. Salute to you, my brother. Thank you all for watching. We got No Mets for the evening. To you too, my brother. All right, guys. We have a fast little game to recap last night. I'm not even going to recap it. I'm just going to let you guys say what you guys want to say about it. But I'm going to pose the question. Just what you guys thought of last night's game, and then after you recap it, I want you guys to answer my question. The question is Justin Herbert a top 5 quarterback in the NFL? Mac, let's start with you. What do you think of last night's game? And then is Justin Herbert a top 5 quarterback in the NFL? And this is just your opinions, and if he's there, if he's not, we don't care. It's your opinion. Let's get it.
Well, as I was sitting at the bar getting absolutely trashed last night watching this game, every time I turn around and look at the TV, the Chargers just seem to be scoring another touchdown. This was, I mean, as far as the game, I mean, it was never a game. I mean, what are you talking about? This was just absolute dominance by the Los Angeles Chargers last night, probably putting together their best performance of the season. I can't remember how all their games went, but this was definitely their best performance in weeks, if nothing else. Justin Herbert was just on fire last night, man. The defense was back. They're getting a little bit healthy. They got Khalil Mack back in the lineup. He was playing last week too, but he was on the snap count this week. He was kind of let the chains off a little bit more, so he had a little bit more of an impact out there. I mean, getting Joe Alt back on that offensive line, you saw the impact that had as well. We know what the effect of getting an all-pro quality talent back on your lineup. And on the offensive line, what it can do to your offensive line, we as Giant fans know that firsthand, and you saw it pay dividends last night. As far as Justin Herbert being a top 5 quarterback, I mean, he's right there. I say he's right there in the mix. I mean, the guy has all the tools. You can say what you want about Justin Herbert. He's got all the tools, man. He hasn't really stepped up and won those big games yet. You know what I mean? And gave the Chargers that yet. But I mean, can't deny what the guy does, man. But I mean, he gets it done on the field. I mean, even when he's dealing with like for some reason Lab McConkey for some reason seems to have the case of the dropsies this season all of a sudden, but he still figures out a way. Whether it's throwing running backs or just he's lost his top 2 running backs are out right now currently. I mean, so he's having to shoulder a lot of the weight over there, and he's handling it. I mean, like you saw last night's performance was absolutely spectacular, man. And it's hard to say if he's top 5. I feel like I could probably name 5 guys that I would probably put above him right now, but at the same time, he's still right there and very much in the mix, definitely in the conversation for sure.
Well said. I love that. Adam, what is your take on the game last night? And is Justin Herbert a top 5 quarterback in the NFL right now?
Well, you know how I feel about Justin Herbert. I do believe he's top 5. If you look at these games, 70%, 75% completion in game 1, 70% in game 2. He had a drop in Denver, but that's a great defense. He was under 60%, but he still threw for 300 yards, right? He goes to the Giants. This is probably his worst game of the season. 56% passing. Then he goes against Washington, Even though they lost, he still had 75% completions. Against Miami, 76% completions, 2 touchdowns. He had 420 yards, and he threw for 60%, even though he threw 2 interceptions in that game against the Colts. And now, last night, he had 72% completion percentage. This guy is averaging 67.9% completion percentage. Yes, you are a top 5 quarterback, okay, in this league. All right? You can't tell me he's not. He's played against some good teams and he's won, and he's done it against bad teams and won. And, like he beat Denver. I know that he lost to Indianapolis, but things happen. They were at home and they probably shouldn't have lost that game, but you never know if they're going to meet in the playoffs. This guy has it. Now, I know the problems with him is the big game stories, but, you can't blame him in the playoffs when you get 5 turnovers, you still lose a football game. They try to blame him. Like, where was the defense to help stop that, right? Like, certain things happen on a football team. Do I want him on my team? As of this moment, I would love him, but I like what Jackson Dart's doing, so I can't say I want to take Herbert right now. Of course, I want to take him the last 6 years prior to us having a quarterback, but he should stay in L.A. I hope he wins one. He's got the right coach, I do believe, in Jim Harbaugh, and I think you'll see as they go forward this Charger team come back. I think this week's game was a big game for them. I think they needed to bounce back after that loss to the Colts on a short week. They have Minnesota coming in, limping into the playoffs. Limping around with their banged up quarterback in Carson Wentz, who's not really that good. You got the defense who can't do much because they can only do so much. People figure them out, and if your offense can't score points, it doesn't matter how good your defense is. They eventually break. They broke, with turnovers and things like that because the Charger defense is playing well. So, I think if they can keep marching on, they're going to make some noise. They got to keep going. They're 1 game out of first place behind Denver, and they have the head-to-head tiebreaker at the moment because they've only played Denver once, right? So if Denver slips up, against the Cowboys or something like that, and they get to be in first place. So, yes, do I think he's a top 5 quarterback? I do. To put a bow on the game last night, I think you saw that come out last night against arguably what we call a solid defense. Right? It's not like he's playing slouches out there. We respect Brian Flores and that defense. They've got some players over there. It's not like they're just some booty ass squad they did this against. This team was pretty. We believe that the Vikings defense is pretty good. They had a bad night on Thursday, but part of that was because Justin Herbert, played pretty well. So.
Well said, Adam. That was great takes by both of you guys. Thoughts on last night's game for me? I'm just gonna say shout out to Gadsden, I believe Gadsden, the tight end out of Syracuse. Definitely came into the league. No one was really talking about him. Everybody was on Loveland. Everybody was in a Warren. Obviously, he was a 4th round pick. And he's out there, in the past couple of weeks against Indiana. He had 7 receptions for 164 yards and a touchdown, and he continues that. He got targeted 5 times last night. He caught all 5 balls for 77 yards and a touchdown. So that's someone that's separating himself out, kind of like what Bellinger is doing for the Giants. That's someone that they can lean on as another target. He already has 2 weapons to throw to, and obviously he's down running backs, but I just want to give that tight end a shout out. Another thing I took from last night's game is we all know that Carson Wentz ain't the best quarterback. Should, obviously is a second string for a reason. But, boy, is he a real one. Is he a tough motherfucker, man? And that's someone that I just couldn't help but respect last night. When all odds are against you, shouldn't really be playing up to a certain point. But I'm not gonna count out Kevin O'Connor because he's an elite coach and he can always come back and get it going. But then again, there's a point in that game where I'm like, dude, just take the guy out, just put in the backup 3rd string really, because I was more concerned about his fucking shoulder. And then there's multiple times where it's showing like slow motion of him just rinsing. I'm like, man, NFL quarterbacks are tough as a motherfucker. And that's that. I think Carson Wentz, he earned all my fucking respect last night. As far as the Vikings wristwatch organization, sometimes they look like they're really good, then sometimes Brian Flores just doesn't look good. And last night's game was the case. To wrap this convo up, shout out to Fidel Du. Absolutely went off, tearing it up for the Chargers. Coming in and winning that spot and it's kind of hard when you're competing against someone that actually played for Jim in college. The other rookie that is from Michigan, right? He comes in and he actually wins that spot. So shout out to Vidal. But that being said, though, Justin Herbert, this is my problem with him. He's right there. I'm standing right with Mac on this, but I'm with you too, and that's why I can't. That's why I have to say no, because I'm wishy-washy. Since I'm wishy-washy, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna put him like right around 6 or 7 or 8 right now. Reason being is because some days we get outright fucking elite quarterback play from Justin, and in other games we just don't. And it's just the inconsistency right now. I think if the Chargers, and I think they will, have a good season, probably fight their way into the playoffs. And it's not even about a playoff game. I just want to see consistency. And right now, what he's doing this season, it's showing consistency. This is like, obviously, there's some bad games. There's obviously not every game is going to be consistent. But when you look at his numbers, it's getting more consistent. Like Adam just said, 70%. He has that one outlier game at 50% and then back to 70, right? If you can consistently do that and you consistently look like an elite quarterback, because when I mentioned 5, there's going to be elite quarterbacks, but when you talk about the top 5, that is really the elites, and everybody else is just great. Then it goes to good, then it goes to shit, right? At 16 touchdowns, I believe 7 interceptions, leading the lead in passing with 2,000, I believe. And that's what I'm saying. You know, he does this again next week and a week after that, then yes, jumps in.
He's on pace for 14 interceptions, 32 touchdowns, and over like 4,200 yards, right? And I'm not saying you're wrong in him not being
a good combo. This is why we have premium.
But to me,
I love it.
To me, he was my MVP pick, and I get what you guys are saying.
I love that.
But you also got to give the fact that some of these defenses have played well. Baker Mayfield had a bad game recently. Are we going to stop him from being in the mix?
Just the difference, though. Yes, truly 3. I would call Ladder number 1. Keelan's kind of old, but he's still kind of like a number 1. And then Johnson has been balling this season. When it comes down to Baker Mayfield, he's doing it with Johnson and Sterling Shepard because Ibuka just got hurt too.
Yeah,
so you know, Mike Evans go down in the second quarter, and that's why when I see Baker Mayfield and I see that ball come out of his hand and that persists, and Baker's not in the top 5 right now for me too. So that's why I can talk on Baker like that. Baker's playing good football, but he's still not gonna, you know, just because Lamar Jackson's hurt.
When we talk top 5, though, are we talking about just currently top 5 as far as based off of this season, or are we still talking about full resumes here? Are we like, I don't necessarily know. I'm talking I talk full resume. I think he's
full resumes.
As of this season, I think he's playing pretty well.
Playing great football this season.
I do.
Yeah, like that's exactly a good question, Mac, because I'm adding in full resumes. Because this season, how am I going to have Lamar Jackson up there when he's hurt, right? That's why I count full season.
But I'm saying, like, the guy that we don't talk about, who I think is having the best season of them all, is Dak Prescott. Okay, like
that guy, yeah,
one of the best seasons quietly, and we don't ever talk about him being a top 5 quarterback because.
Well, I can throw another name out there. I mean, I know how you feel about Dak Prescott, but how about Jared Goff as well? I mean, he's another guy that he's been as consistent since he's been in Detroit. That trade was made when he went to Detroit. They made that trade as if that was just
ending his career.
Get the hell out of here, Jared Goff.
That's why I like to
go out off of the sunset somewhere. But
I like to separate the category into like you guys don't have to rank it like this, but this is the way I rank it. I think out of 32 quarterbacks, there's gonna be 5. Would you do 5 elites, right? And if you're 6, you're great. You're just on the borderline of that 5 elite, right? Would you guys put Dak Prescott in that 5 elite right now? And that's for me. He's playing great football, but like, if you want a simulation,
I'm basing off of this season. Like he's definitely up there this season for sure.
Definitely.
I mean, like you got to think about it. You got 2 great quarterbacks in this league right now that are on the show. I mean, Lamar's coming back this week, but Joe Burrow as well. I mean, those are 2 of the absolute best guys in the business, man, and we haven't really been able to see them flourish this season because of injuries. And then there's still always the same thing with this young man in Washington as well. I mean, I know how we felt about
Patrick Mahomes having a great year.
To count that, excuse me.
I said Patrick Mahomes having a great year.
Absolutely.
Patrick Mahomes is leading the MVP race right now.
But see, here's what you're talking. This is why Matt brought up a great point because like Dak Prescott, you were like, oh, you're waffling about him being good, and Max like, watch what he's doing, and it's like some of these guys that we don't necessarily get to see that are getting boasted up because of Burrow and Lamar's absence, right? Like Josh Allen is secondary character right now. To me, I'm looking at Baker Mayfield, I'm looking at Dak Prescott, I'm looking at like he said, Jared Goff, some other guys that are not that are like even Aaron Rodgers is starting to kind of creep into that. Oh my God, maybe he'll be in the race for this, MVP award or whatever it is, because he's starting to click a little bit in Pittsburgh. So for me, the three guys that I keep going back on are Dak Prescott and Baker Mayfield, and then the guy that is slowly talking about, no one's talking about, I think is having a good season, and no, it's not Daniel Jones, it's Sam Darnold. It's Sam Darnold doing pretty good stuff out there with Jackson Smith-Njigba over in Seattle. And I just think like there's a lot of good quarterback play this year from guys that aren't necessarily the elite guys, but we have to put them in that category this year for that talking point. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean, and like I hate doing this, but you have to. I'm gonna say it. You have to add Indiana Jones to that mix, because if you look at Indiana Jones' numbers, I would call it that.
I mean, this season, if we're talking about this season, he's top 10 right now this season for sure.
Daniel Jones is a top
crazy to even say.
In the NFL.
I'm not believe it as fucking not. But no, he's having a good year. No, but Sam Darnold. But I feel like, to me, even though he's in the race for me, Daniel Jones, I think Sam Darnold is just doing. For whatever reason, I just feel like he's doing better. I think the NFC conference.
Drake fucking May, thank you. Drake May's having a fucking excellent season.
Yes, he's having a phenomenal year that we're not even talking about. Mm-hmm. Drake May is a guy that's having a good year. I'm not saying MVP, but I'm just saying I think. When we normally look, if you were to take your top 10, I don't know if we did it this year, but maybe as an experiment, we need to do this going forward. Take your top 10 in August, right before the season starts, and then take your top 10 right now. I'm sure that list is not going to be the same at all. Nobody had on their bingo card Sam Darnold doing it again in Seattle. Nobody even thought that Daniel Jones would even be able to read a football, let alone do what he's doing. Right? No one is thinking about Baker Mayfield. All I ever heard was, well, lost Liam Cohen. He's not going to do it again. That guy, again, is on pace for 4,000 yards. That'd be his third or fourth with Tampa Bay, right? Dak Prescott having one of the best seasons that no one's talking about because the Cowboys are 3-3 and 1, right? So they're not technically a top team. Now, if they beat Denver on Sunday, we might have to be like, oh, well, maybe the Cowboys might start to build off something. But what I'm saying is, like, for me, it's a little bit more exciting this year because it's not the same characters like it was for the previous years. And I think that's what's pulling a lot of people in. I think it's changing a lot of dynamics, right? I mean, if you look at what Matthew Stafford's doing, he's having a great year too, that no one's kind of talking about him because the Rams are going about their business. Like they're just constantly winning. And then you look up and there's Matthew Stafford, top of the categories, having great games and doing Matthew Stafford things, right? And it goes to show you when you put guys around these elite quarterbacks, they raise the level of play of everybody. So I know you were talking about Justin Herbert having weapons, right? Well, guess what? I saw him do it without weapons, right? In previous years. Just because his weapons happen to be healthy this year, I'm not going to take that away again from him because he's doing it. Daniel Jones, again, am I impressed with it? Yes, but he has weapons this year that are making it look a lot easier for him than it normally would. Now, I look at guys like Baker Mayfield who are doing it with Tez Johnson one week. Guys in and out of the lineup. I look at Sam Darnold, guys in and out of the lineup. Dak Prescott, he's got CeeDee Lamb and Turpin and all these guys injured, yet they're still performing. And then Max said Jaden Daniels, who can't even do anything because he can't get out of his way because his team is relying on his magic to do stuff. And without Jaden Daniels, they can't function. So, I like the cast of characters this year. It's going to be an interesting MVP race for me, but I had to throw a couple of those guys.
Something too. I mean, based off of this topic, this was a great topic because it makes me really realize and think. 'Cause I didn't really put that much thought into it, but quarterback play in the National Football League this season has emerged. Man, there's a lot of good quarterback play. Like you said, and it's not necessarily from guys you expect. You know what I mean? You got some surprises in there. I mean, even like Caleb Williams, who we didn't mention, has stepped his game up in year two, man, and is starting to really look like that number one overall pick that he was. So I mean, it's just like go around the league. A lot of great emerging quarterback play, man, around the league. I mean, whereas before it was so lopsided where the AFC just had just the dominant quarterbacks way better. NFC is catching up a little bit. You know, I mean, it's still not quite there.
But it's making
they're
for
catching up.
entertaining football. It's making for matchups, Mac. It's like we can watch Aaron Rodgers against Joe Flacco, which is funny, but look what the show they put on, right? You got Mahomes, and it's not a random dude on the other side. Now it's Jackson Dart. I want to go watch that game. Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, and maybe whoever like on that side. I don't know, Drake May, maybe Cam Ward or Michael Penix Jr. I mean, it's starting to evolve where you're really going to build out marquee matchups, and the schedule will become something interesting. Like, we're going to have Burrow versus Dart. We're going to have Dart versus Jackson. We're going to have Allen versus Mahomes, and Allen versus this is really good. I mean, Geno Smith is not playing that well this year. I'm sorry. I know.
Who's the best quarterback in the NFC East? Jackson Dart. Okay.
Dak Prescott. I mean, I love what Jackson Dart's doing. And I love this kid, his moxie. Like I am, you guys.
Oh yeah, right now, Dak Prescott. Here, here's my list.
Hear me talk about
Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels, Jackson Dart. He has to be at the bottom because look at this division with quarterbacks. I'm glad to say that
who's playing better right now. Jackson Dart is clearly playing better than Jaden Daniels. If you're going off a resume alone and what they've done, he obviously is a budding star and he's at the bottom. But if we're talking about right now, I would take Jackson Dart's play over Jaden Daniels' play because one, he's healthy, two, he's in the lineup, and if you look at what Jackson Dart has done with the booty ass talent, that's why I think he's going to be so good in the league. Is like he's doing this with guys like Slayton, Wando Robinson. Do you realize one receiver caught a pass last week?
Only one wide receiver. Wando's the only one
caught a pass. Okay, like. That's incredible quarterback play. If we had that last year, no offense to you, Daniel Jones, Indiana Jones, your damn moniker up there. If we had him last year,
you show Indiana some respect.
Yeah, my ass. He had Malik Neighbors and couldn't do shit. This guy is doing shit without Malik Neighbors. It didn't work out here, Daniel. More power to you. But what I'm
Daniel damn near saved the fucking city.
And he saved Indianapolis, right? And Anthony. What I'm saying is that I just like what he does and how he, how many times did he score 30 points? We scored 30 points against the Eagles and then did it against the Broncos. Like, these are no slouch defenses.
10 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks. Yeah. New York Giants, 10 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks.
I mean, when have we said that about a quarterback putting up 10 touchdowns in 2 weeks? Like literally, like he does it on the and I'm not trying to, but the excitement that this guy brings is far and away better than what we've had in a long time. It's almost a different level than Eli, right? Because Eli brought excitement. You knew you had a puncher's chance every Sunday, blah, blah, blah. Jackson Dart brings the element of, oh shit, I can have fucking booty out there and there can be some magic coming out of that, here. Like, do I like the hero ball? No. I obviously don't. I don't think you can win like that. Look what happened with Caleb Williams. It does work out in some games where the ball bounces your way and things like that, but you will get caught. Like the middle part of the fourth quarter, he had a horrible fourth quarter. Could have thrown two more picks. He's going to learn from that. But the energy that he brings and the moxie that he sees and the things that I see already give me excitement that if he's refined, we're going to be talking about him being elite and a star and a stud. I'm like, oh man, Jackson.
Oh yeah.
And it's not even going to be a question like it was with Eli. And I think because of Eli's looks and the way he talked and kind of presented himself, it was harder to get behind him. You're going to get behind Jackson Dart when he's a star. You're going to be on that train going down that, run down the tracks going, shit, I was on this ride. You know what I mean?
And that's why I know it was premature when I said it, but like I kind of see it in a draft night. I seen it while watching his videos in the off season. Like, yes, we was all on other quarterbacks trains, but like, for the videos that I did see about him, he just had that aura about him. Yeah. And that's why I love today's episodes, guys, because we don't really have set topics. It's kind of just a group conversation, and I want you guys to all join the chat and join in on the conversation too. And we definitely are about to talk about our New York Giants and fully go in depth about previewing the game this week against our opponents in the Philadelphia Eagles, and we'll break down our picks of the weeks as well and the records. But before we do that, I do want to get a little AI in this, and then let's let's just see what AI has to say. I tried to, pitch something up that hopefully I prompted right. Let's just zoom in on the screen, and we'll just see what I said. So I said, act as an NFL expert, rank your top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Take your time and account for everything. Run a simulation 100 times as if they all had the same team. Who would be the best? Who would be the best, and account for the most wins in the season. Let's just use the Vikings offense as an example. If they all had the Vikings roster. Now, before we press that one button, I want to take predictions. Mac, you don't have to give top 10. Obviously, it's going to take 2 a shot. Top 3. Who do you think the top 3 quarterbacks is going to be? I don't know. I didn't want this yet.
This is insane.
3, yeah.
Say that again. Top 3 quarterbacks and the references. I'm sorry, I didn't catch all of that.
Oh, you're good. You're good. I'll just replay it.
Doing AI.
Does the NFL? We're gonna get AI in the mix. We're gonna see what AI says, and obviously, as not always right, we're just gonna add AI in the mix. Act as this is the prompt I gave AI. Act as an NFL expert. Rank your top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Take your time and account for everything. Run a simulation 100 times where if they all had the same team, who would be the best and account for the most wins in the season. Let's just use the Vikings offense as the example if they all had the Vikings roster. And I know this is not going to, weird shit happens all the time. The ball can bounce one way and we're not accounting for defense. But at the end of the day, that is the prompt that we're going to use. Now, before we run this simulation, who would you say is the top? Who would you think AI is going to come with the top 3?
Mahomes.
Okay.
Mahomes at 1? Mahomes absolutely. Mahomes, probably go Joe Burrow.
Okay.
And it's like between, I feel like I'm between 2 guys here. Which one? Which way do I go? I'm gonna go Lamar, man.
So Mac's predictions is he got Patrick Mahomes. He thinks the AI is going to put Patrick Mahomes as number 1. He has Joe Burrow as number 2, and he has Lamar at number 3. Adam, what is your prediction?
I'm about to blow your minds right here. Okay, I'm going to go Mahomes, which is easy. Okay. Then I'm going to go Dak Prescott, and then I'm going to go Jalen Hurts. Because these guys, what they do with the talents that they have, right? Like you're saying, you're running a simulation 10 times and
100 times,
right? And I just think these guys going in the Vikings offense can put up those numbers. And I thought I'd just be a little unorthodox and see what would happen. So
I love the getting different. I'm gonna get different too. I think when you account for everything, I know he's the best right now, but I'm not gonna put Mahomes at 1. I think AI is gonna probably put someone like Josh Allen at 1.
Jared Goff.
And I think AI is probably gonna put Josh Allen at 1 and Joe Burrow at 2, Lamar Jackson at 3.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to take Hurst off, and I'm going to put Baker Mayfield there.
Baker Mayfield.
Yes.
All right. I love it. Now, Adam's coming in really bold. Adam, can you name your 3 again?
My 3 are Dak Prescott, Patrick Mahomes, and Baker Mayfield.
I love that. And Matt, can you name your 3?
Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson.
All righty. And my 3 is Patrick Mahomes just outside of the top 3. I got Josh Allen at 1, Joe Burrow at 2, and Lamar Jackson at 3. Even though he's not playing, AI is just going to fucking somehow include him in the list. Let's see what it says. It shouldn't take that long. I did ask it to take its time, but while it's thinking, it shouldn't take that long. So we'll kind of just wait in the chat. I want the chat to get involved too. Come up with.
Thank you, Tudo.
Appreciate that, Tudo. Absolutely.
Stats through the web. After gathering the results, I'll synthesize them to create a code and display the table. Here it goes.
All right, here we go, guys. Here it is. Thought for 22 seconds, and it's analyzing now.
This is weird. We're going up against the machine.
I asked it to take the time. Nice. There you go. Nice. I ran 100 seasons, Monte Carlo, where each of my quarterbacks in the top 10 list played on 2024 Minnesota Vikings roster. The Vikings went 14-3. Okay, beautiful. So use the 14-3. All righty. chose top 3 lists mid-consensus using the sources of NFL, ESPN, NFL, and CBS. Alrighty,
God.
alrighty, let's go down, guys. Okay, it clamped me a little. Okay, let's just see the list. I just want to see the list.
I have to download the summary.
It's a whole summary
You're
of
gonna
what
make
it
you
did.
read the whole thing first.
It's doing its whole.
Here's all the terms and conditions.
Wait, where's the
You have to
list?
download it.
I need a list. No, wait.
They didn't give us a list.
Just
We waited all that time and didn't get a list.
no, it's summary. It's summary. Got it. Here's your final 10. All right, Patrick Mahomes, number 1.
Joe Burrow. Oh, Jalen Hurts is on there.
Jalen Hurts.
Dak Prescott. Oh, Justin Fields. Whoa, AI is shitty. AI is
okay.
shitty.
This is just okay. ChatGPT, fix your shit.
Well, I got 2 of the 3. I got 2 of the 3.
I took Hurts off. I took Hurts off. I would have had 2 of them on there as well. Well, I technically would have had all 3. I would have had Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, and Dak Prescott. Man, I should have played the fucking
bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit with Justin Fields.
Justin Fields. How is he even remotely included in that?
AI.
Justin Fields throws for like 40 yards a game. Are you kidding me?
All right,
and he has Garrett Wilson. Come on.
Okay, it remade the list. Okay, now AI is just fucking with us now. It put CJ Stroud in the. You know what, AI? You're not accounting for the season. We thought you had it.
Dak Prescott.
All right, guys. So that's
so does fucking Patrick Mahomes. Fuck
It's a little fun conversation. Hell yeah.
Yeah. See,
Matt won that little simulation.
Man,
all right, guys.
That stupid shit. Justin, how the fuck you gonna calculate 100 different quarterbacks and 100 different scenarios, and you land on that motherfucker as number fucking 10? Are you insane? Like, who do I gotta talk to at Google Chat or whatever, Chat whatever the fuck it's called, to get
it's opening eye opening
to get the algorithm right? How in the fucking hell do you go through ESPN, CBS, and whatever other fucking network you use to get to the root of this issue? And at number 10, you have Justin fucking Fields, the guy who doesn't even know he's going to be starting this year. How is this AI? This is a problem. This is a problem because if AI is going to be used to help supplement some human thought processes, we need to rethink that shit. Because if you're telling me that 1 out of 10 is going to be fucked up, we got some fucking problems. Your AI, your shit should not be fucked up. The fact that I got to see on your list of 100 fucking million times you ran that shit in 22 seconds and came up with Justin Fields, I got to call bullshit on this fucking AI. Get out of here with that shit. You missed me with Justin Fields, okay?
Beautiful clip. Alrighty. That being said, guys, we're going to move on. This is another topic I want to bring up first, and this is a topic that it might be laughable, but like it actually I don't know if it's an article that came out or if it's just getting trending and it's getting talked about, but a lot of people are saying this is gonna. I want you guys to know that it's gonna be ridiculous what it's about to come out of my mouth, and you guys are probably gonna laugh, but I want you guys to get you guys' thoughts on it. A lot of the time as head coaches, they go through the week and they can't really simulate everything that's going to come up in the game, right? Because they're busy doing so much other shit. And then when it comes down to practice, they can't really practice it because sometimes they don't really see it. So at the end of the day, they have so much time and their time is so delegated to so much different places. That article came out and it's getting talked about on the web that people actually are considering, and like it's not going to happen, but fans are actually saying, wouldn't it be beneficial for every team to have a Madden professional as an advisor in the NFL? Because if you really think about it, Madden professionals, and guess it's a video game, but it's also a simulation, and a lot of people use Madden as tools for younger kids to learn coverages and learn the game of football. And when you a Madden pro, they play about 10 to 12 hours a day, and they see so much shit. They see more shit than head coaches see. So they always are seeing all these simulations that the other professionals are throwing at them. And when you bring these Madden pros to tournaments, Madden Bowl before the Super Bowl and all the shit and how big the game became. They're beating top level competition of football that should know coverages that plays professional the game, but they're beating them because they're seeing more coverages than the average player would. You know what I'm saying? That being said, do you think that's a foolish idea to bring in a Madden pro as a consultant, or do you think that's actually a smart idea? Let's start with you, Matt.
I mean, I don't. At this point, I don't know, man. Madden's a video game, real life video games. I mean, I get it to some extent, I suppose, but I don't know. I'm just not really. I don't think so.
And
Not
to
for me
kind of steer
personally.
the conversation, it's not like he would be anything like on the sideline in a professional game or anything like that. It would be more like in the off season and just more like it could be in the regular season too, of just someone in the building that doesn't basically go on the sideline, but basically helps formulate a game plan because they kind of have that time to delegate to that, rather than a coach trying to come up with things when he has so much things on his mind. But if that kind of better lets you answer it, but it's still weird talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm just, I think leave the video game guys to the video games and leave the real, actually on field stuff, the real stuff, to the real guys that are actually doing the stuff. Because I just think, I don't know, I just don't really see where it's gonna have any real impact.
And
A
it
guy
came up because
a guy that's really good at playing the video game.
it came up his to Mad Mer context. It came up, and I'm not necessarily agreeing with it or not, but it came up because there's so much time where these coaches, us as watchers at home, we see shit and it's so easy to call it out. But for a coach, sometimes we just see it Brian Dable with management, right? With time management and all this other shit that goes on in the game. There's so much times where coaches will make stupid fucking decisions because of the fact that there's just delegating the mind in so much different places that if they had someone to be like, yo, what the fuck are you doing there in this, and I get what you say. Let the video gamers be the video gamers, let the pros be the pros. What's your thoughts on that, Adam?
Well, normally I'd say would be an asinine, dumb idea, but let's change it up and not say Madden pros and have them be virtual reality kind of coaches and help some of these guys who need help understanding a defense or an offense. I mean, apparently Jackson Dart's got the VR. Jaden Daniels has the VR, right? How's that any different than Madden right now, right? You're at a computer screen. So yes, while I don't agree necessarily, I want them running my defense because what we tend to forget is human error is far different than computer. A computer runs on a code, and if the code is clean, it's going to keep running on that code every time, right? That the code's not clean in a regular football game because you don't know who's going to come in, bust the coverage, and read the wrong body language and jump the route or something like that. You're not going to always have that with AI. You can simulate it to a certain extent, but there's nothing like having a real person with real thoughts with a different thought process, right? I mean, I'm not saying AI can't be beat, but and some of it's really, really good stuff to the point where you're like, wow, this is a good learning tool. I do think there is some ability with the young kids to relate to them saying, hey, listen, you don't know the defense, you don't understand whiteboards anymore, like and drawing on a chalkboard. How about I draw it for you on a video game? And like if you watch Amazon Prime, they have the AWS channel, right, where you can watch all the routes and everything being run almost in a Madden-esque format. It's not a bad way to learn the game. However, I don't necessarily think I'm a coach, although I do believe decisions are made and I do believe I could make a different decision. There's a lot of mitigating factors. So let's play hypotheticals here. Since we're about to talk about the Giants. Let's say hypothetically speaking, Shane Bowen said to, I don't know, Andrew Phillips, make sure you knock it down in this play. And Andrew Phillips goes on the field and stares at the ball as it goes into a hand and doesn't do shit and freezes up. I blame Shane Bowen, but if he did his job down the chain, then he shouldn't be blamed for the problem. However, we're doing it because we're saying, oh, that's a bad defense. Meanwhile, the player got told, hey, don't do that, it could be a catch, and didn't follow the instructions, and it looks bad because of how it's coached, right? But those are the little mitigating circumstances that we have that, Madden can't simulate the same way. And you can do that in Madden. You can drop the A button. You can have the computer read a code or do something in blitz at a certain moment in time where they might not in a game, right? There are certain things that you can't simulate. The crowd noise, no one can simulate that. No one can simulate the adrenaline that you get from watching your fan base, right? Or walking in there. So I believe as the tool factor where you're using it as a learning tool, learning a defense, learning a particular offense, learning about maybe some of the concepts that a team uses, virtual reality, I think, is the way that you should go. I don't want to discredit the idea of Madden, because I think video games are being incorporated into the NFL right now. And I think it's helping some of these younger quarterbacks in terms of simulating pressure, because like you said, they're playing 12 hours of Madden. They're not sitting there playing 12 hours of a playbook. They're sitting there playing 12 hours of Madden, and that's how they're learning the concepts that their coaches are teaching them, right? Sometimes the teaching methods need to get up to speed what's going on. We just got tablets in the NFL. They were doing paper printouts for God knows how long. Now you have actual, scans that you can look at as a tablet and use phones. I'm sure they're going to have simulations and things like that where they can replay the play and say, look at this block that you made. Like, I get where the concept is going. I'm with Mac. I don't think you should put someone on the payroll. Let's say, let's go see what fucking Johnny over there has playing the fucking video game, right? Let me call up him, some video gamer that won $250,000. Yeah, let me call him. Hey, Johnny, you think we should run it on something? Yeah. Are they going to fire Johnny? No, they're going to fire you. And I think a lot of analytics has cost coaches because they've relied on quote unquote Madden, right? Because this is what the algorithm says. Go for it on fourth and whatever. Okay, well, maybe you shouldn't. Your defense is playing great. Maybe you should punt the ball away. You went for it a fourth down in your own end zone, and now you're wondering why you're fucking losing. Oh, you're throwing the ball up in the end zone when all you have to do is run the football to call a timeout. That's the type of shit AI is not going to do. AI is going to be perfect every time because it's not going to be stupid and make those stupid decisions. So that's why it's going to be hard to try to do it, right? You can't emulate stupidity like that. You know what I'm saying?
I love that. I love both of those responses, and I can get on board, and I'm on board with both of those responses. My only pushback to those is just as if we're not talking about and I didn't come up with the concept. It's been going on social media, and I think you brought up AI, and that's good too, and then the VR, because you brought up a good word that is the younger generation, right? Because as we move on, it is going to be different tools that come up and different things that these kids do, right? We just got done talking about Jackson Jordan, Jaden Daniels.
You think a guy sitting there playing Madden is going to help you? Yeah. Like how?
Well, here's the thing. I'm not talking. Not just me. I'm not. I didn't come up with this.
No,
this is actually being discussed.
To you.
It's for me. No. Me, no. An average Madden player, no. If you're good at Madden, you're in the top 100, no. If you think you're good at Madden, no. If you're a professional, there's a difference.
So let me ask
you. Madden.
The person that wins the tournaments, right? Let's say the highest level.
Let's just say Henry, for example, the best one of the best Madden players.
You know who that is, Henry, right?
I'm just seeing this because it's this issue came up because it was about the evolution in football and what things are coming up, right? And these players are running so much similar. These professional players and their brains are living Madden because that's their job, right? They're living football. And if you take Madden, and if you don't have to go, but it's a good documentary. I suggest everybody go watch the Madden documentary on Amazon Prime. But it came out a long time ago. But like being said, what Madden always wanted is he never wanted to put his name on something until it was actually he didn't want to make a video game. He wanted to make a simulation. So that's why he had the first Madden. He had fucking EA make 3 fucking times because it was shit. And then finally the technology get up. Long story short, Madden right now in my hands is a video game. In your guys' hands, it's a video games. If you take Madden and you put it in an NFL fucking locker room and you give it to a coach, it's not a fucking video game no more because they look at the game differently, right? So what these professional athletes are able to do is right now, they're going to these Madden Bowls. It happens every year before the Super Bowl, and they're playing these pro athletes, right? And some coaches actually play, and they're beating them, right? So you would think, like, how the fuck is you play the sport for the living? You should know how to read these fucking coverages, but why am I fucking manipulating you on a fucking video game?
Well,
and I get it. It doesn't account for any crowd noise. It doesn't account for anything. The drop of the like.
Here's why I think that happens. Because what you're saying is, oh well, you're beating a coach. You have more experience. Why are you not winning?
No, that's not it. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what they're saying. What they're saying is, let's do studies just how things get evolve over time, right? Let's do studies on these Madden players. We're not talking about signing them up to an NFL roster. It takes a process. Let's do studies on their brain, because they're literally seeing all these concepts. They're like Brian Dable will probably see 10 concepts because he has to I'm just using 10 as an example, because he has to delegate his time in the coaching the team. Well, all this guy does is fucking play Madden 13 hours a fucking day professionally. So all the shit that he's seen hundreds of defensive coverages over and over again, and he has to fucking adapt in real fucking time. But
my question, I guess, is how are you handling the rosters? Because the only thing that I see what you're saying in terms of, they can see more, so they can help the coaches because they can game plan, because they see 1,000 coverages more than Dable, who sees 100 coverages, right? You're quantifying the data, so to speak, in with the more mining for 13 hours. And what is not simulating is human error. That's what it's not simulating, and that's the only reason why I would say put a damper on it, because football is so unpredictable and the ball is so weird that that scientific fact of the ball hitting and going in a different way, you can simulate it, but there's ways I've seen the ball bounce where you don't expect that to happen. Even a computer can't do it, right? And so I think, as much as you want to plan for the scenarios that you're talking about, right, and overcompensate and do whatever because I have more information, the one thing that the AI can't simulate is the human error element of, like, outsmarting the other person, or just the sheer fact of maybe I'm not going to do that, or maybe this isn't called, or the way the ball bounces, right? And that's where I think you're going to lose the AI portion of it, because the data is nice, right? I'll give it to you like this, right? I work at a job where we got a lot of data, and we had a system that worked, even though that data was technically being blocked with like ad blockers, right? But it would still record the data, but it wasn't delivering what it was supposed to deliver. What does that mean? You have great data, but you're not getting the end result that you're trying to get, because nobody can see your product, because it's saying that it's being served, but the ad doesn't show up, right? So if the ad doesn't show up, what does that mean? There, you can't see it, but it still will record. So when you go down to look at your numbers, you're like, oh man, we had 100 people look at our ad. Really, you only had 2, because the ad did not serve, but it got collected on that data. So what you're doing is you're mining for that data. You're saying all these simulations, but you're not forgetting the one error. Is it really delivering? Are we really seeing it? Is there something that is missing in the numbers that we can't calculate? And I think it's the human error element,
And I think you're absolutely right too. And we're gonna definitely move on with this conversation. But then to wrap it up, I just think that I want to say this real fast. It's like, when this whole discussion came up, I think they really are gonna probably be considering it in the next couple of years. And we're not talking about like a fucking big role in the offense. We're talking about someone that probably literally is a professional Madden player that a team can send like probably have a signed contract, like we're gonna hire you for this season. You can't work for anybody. You can't outsource. You can't contract for any other fucking team. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be a small position. Without, they're probably not even gonna be in the facility. They're probably just gonna be sending them, like, they're not even gonna know the fucking game plan. They're gonna probably just be like, look at this team. We're playing, say for instance, the New York Giants reach out to this Madden professional on a Monday and saying, hey, we're playing Philadelphia on Sunday. Send us your fucking game plan by fucking Tuesday night to Wednesday night. You have a fucking 24 to 48 hour period, because we have to install the game plan. What do you come up with? And a lot of people, and these are respected people too, because I didn't come up with, these are like ex quarterbacks. These are like people that's talking about it right now. are saying that 9 out of the 10 times the Madden Pros game plan for the week will align with the coach's game plan for the week, just based off of the knowledge of football for playing it. I get it as electronic, but for playing it professionally, because they're seeing my concepts on an everyday basis than the coach, because coach can only play one day a fucking week. Well, they're fucking. I know it's electronically, and you can't account for real world factors. When you look at Madden, and I get it, it's still a video game, and we just seen fucking AI rank fucking Justin Fields in the top fucking 10, which is asinine. But when you take a look at it, they did a really good job over the length of. This is now what the 35th Madden of trying to simulate rather than simulate real life and real factors come, and the ball bounces a certain way. And AI, no matter how good it is, it's never gonna be human level. But at the end of the day, if they can have a guy like that, I think like as this new generation would say, Aura and then all this new generation shit, it is gonna come to a point where they probably will have like a special person on the side that they call it whatever the position they want to call it. You're not showing up at the stadium, but you're probably at your house formulating. I can see something like that.
No more data guys. No more data guys. It's the data heavy guys have. I'm just saying, because there's a lot of times I'm watching football, and you're saying guys simulate, they'll know, right? There's a feel for the game where I'm saying, like, you shouldn't run that play, and these idiots look at the data and go, well, the fucking card said to do this, and running that play. I'm like, you're taking the coaching element out of the game because you're looking at a fucking script that says, hey, go for it. And you're not taking the feel of the game as a coach, where you're like, oh, is my defense really playing well? How's my punter playing? Do I think that he can make this kick and pin him back there? You don't have those decisions anymore, because like you look at the Eagles, right? They base their shit on analytics. So they normally a fourth down, they might want to punt, but they're like, oh, 4th and 1, we'll run the tush push and run 4 guys out there or whatever. So, and that's why they don't look at it the same way. They built their one play on analytics. That's the only thing that has worked analytic-wise in the NFL for a team, is the data that shows, well, you can go for it on 4th and 1. Now, going for it on 4th and 3 or 4th and 4, I don't think is good data. But there's people that say, oh, go for it if you're inside the 40, blah, blah, blah. Why aren't you trying to tell your punter to do a pooch punt and make them fair catch it and try to pin them back? We don't play field position anymore. We don't do that anymore because, again, gambling is part of it. But at the end of the day, they don't have that I feel element, and that's what really is hindering the game, because you're sitting here looking at a data number tell you, well, probability is you might get it. It's like, are you feeling like when I watched in the mid 90s, they didn't have a data analytics team. That was like, oh shit, it's 4th and 1. I need this because I'm not going to get the ball back. Let me go for it, and the game's online. These people think, well, let me do it. Like Brian Dable again, classic example. You're going for 2. You're chasing points when you're up 19 to whatever. Why are you going for 2? What do you need to? Why are you so worried about your defense, which is playing lights out, that you need to get 21 points? Just kick the field goal, right? Now, if you're worried about kicking the field goal because of your kicker sucking, well, then that's on you for having a sucky kicker and not being able to do it. And like I said, that's something you do. So that's it. Why did he go for 2? Well, guess what? Analytics told him, plus his kicker sucked. So he didn't use what normal people would have done and just kick the field goal. In the time that Jackson Dart needed to run the football, he decided to throw the ball. Again, analytic-wise, I want to be aggressive, blah, blah, blah. That wasn't the feel for the game, right? There are certain elements where I don't need the analytics. Just go out there, and if you make a mistake, it's a human error rather than, the numbers say, because you're skirting the blame at that point. Because if it works, yeah, I'll take it. If it doesn't work, you're saying, well, the numbers told me to do it. So that's why I did it, right? I need you to be a coach. And I know it's a long-winded answer, but what I'm saying is,
I love it.
I don't like the technology in the game the way it's becoming, because you're taking away coaching and you're putting it in the hands of technology. How it's supposed to be played.
I love the fact that you said the feel of the game too, because that really comes into play, and a simulation on a computer can account for crowd noise. Alrighty, guys. Man, I forgot about the subject. We can talk about it if you guys want to. Let's just say 2 or 3 minutes on it. We're not going to spend too much time on it, but major, and then I guess we're gonna probably cover it later, probably in future episode when we have my information. Because right now it's just a couple of things came out about a big ass fucking gambling ring that involves multiple states, and it involves one of the crime families from New York. It has a couple of players in the NBA, along with the Portland Trailblazers head coach. One of them players actually play on the fucking Miami Heat. And you actually have footage of him throwing a game. So that's fucking crazy. All I'm gonna say is you make so much money. Why throw it all away? Don't want to really touch on it too much because I don't want to take too much time. But
Because you're getting a
guys,
payout.
yeah, fast thoughts on what's going on with that whole fucking gambling investigation.
First off, I haven't really followed the scandal, but it's the NBA always seems to have
X-ray machines.
like this. This is not the first time I've seen the NBA get caught up in this type of allegations. When that Tim Donaghy thing, where he was calling games. I mean, he basically had the Lakers win against Sacramento. There were literally calls where guys were getting run over. But I remember playing as a Net fan, Shaq running over the center, who has a position, running him over, and they call a foul on the center. I'm like, how in the hell, and not Shaq? So they've been here before. I mean, it's not the first time we've seen gambling, but it is the first of this magnitude where you have a crime family involved. Normally, it's just, a guy in a gambling ring and a couple guys, like what Tom Donahue did back in the day. But the NBA works easily because it's so different than the football. Football, while you can probably rig it with the refs and whatever. Getting drilled, and I'm not my career is only so long. In the NBA, I can throw the ball, make it look like it bounced off my hand or something like that. I can, duck out, play injury. Like NFL, you can throw the game, but guess what, man? You don't make that much money in the NFL. So I mean, I'm not saying it's not rigged. I do think they make a lot of calls in the NFL that kind of get the other team back in the game because of point spreads and Caesar's Sportsbook. So I do understand. It's probably happening in the NFL right now with all these calls. Like, you look at these calls, right? Again, I go back to the Denver game. How's Riley Moss getting called for that pass interference? Like, that was decent coverage. The ball was underthrown, decent coverage, his head turned around. He did everything you anticipated. And yet, here we are.
Well said, Adam. Go right ahead, Matt.
Well, I mean, I don't know all the full details about this about the scandal. I don't need to know all the full details because I just know that it's just ridiculous that these guys continue to go down these roads, man. Like, all the money they're already making, and yet you still feel the need to cheat the game, the integrity of the sport. I mean, look at the price that like a Pete Rose is paying for the era of his ways gambling and whatnot, where he's been basically, he was pretty much blackballed from Major League Baseball, not getting his rightful place in the Hall of Fame and things of that such, man. It's just, to me, it's just despicable. It's disgusting. And Adam Silver, we really need to take a look at your league, because a lot of this seems to continue to happen in the NBA. A lot. I mean, whether it's players, active players, former players, coaches. I mean, Chauncey Billups, man, I'm so disappointed in you, Chauncey Billups. I am so disappointed in you right now. I mean, as a guy I really looked up to, respected when he was playing in his playing days, and I just can't imagine what goes through these guys' minds when they go down these roads, man, and decide to just affect the integrity of the games like this to just align their own pockets, man. I don't get it. I don't understand. I'll never understand it. But this is where we are. This is the world we live in, apparently. And I mean, it's just ruining sports, man.
Well said, absolutely. I think there's no place for gambling, especially like obviously us casuals and fans. We have a right because we're not playing, but like when you do it to the extent that like these guys are doing it like insider trading almost, it's just disgusting as fuck. And not only that, when you get into what they're also doing with like illegal gambling. Like it's everybody plays poker at their house every once in a while with a group of friends, and have fun in Vegas every once in a while and do it illegally. When you actually do it, and then they're doing it with X-ray machines, and it just gets out of hand, and it's just super disgusting. Exactly what you said. I mean, like I know Terry Rozier's contract was like $28 million. It's like how many millions do you fucking need? Well, it's called investments. It's called real estate. It's called stocks. I mean, like what the fuck are you doing? But that being said, though, as the investigation goes on, and if there any major breaking news, we'll definitely get into it later on a future episode of Premium Takes. That being said, let's get to our pick segment of the week, and then we'll end the show talking about the New York Football Giants. We're gonna have you choose a morning game, Mac. Let me put up the screen, and then we can see the selection of games we have to choose from. And going over the records, we was all 6-4 last week, and it's surprisingly everything now has a clear standings. Everything can change week to week. I'm sitting at the top at 9-5. Mac is second place at 8-6, and then Adam is falling in at last place at 7-7. Coming off the 6-4, Mac picked the Jags, the Colts, the 49ers, and the Bucks. I picked the Rams, Colts, 49ers, and Bucks, and then Adam picked the Rams, Chargers, Falcons, and Bucks. That being said, that's how we calculated the standings. Let's get into the morning slate. Any of these morning games stick out to you? I'll have you pick one. Actually, you can use the full slate. Is there any game on the slate that sticks up to you that we're going to talk about first?
Yeah, we're going to talk about the Bills and the Panthers.
Bills and Panthers. Let's talk about the Bills and Panthers. I'm going to let you begin. Let's get it. On you.
Buffalo has been underwhelming at best this season thus far. Start this season off. The Panthers are kind of, kind of surprising, making some noise down there in the NFC South a little bit, man. A little surprising, man. They've been playing a little bit better football than a lot of people may have expected to see from the Carolina Panthers team. And Buffalo's a squad you don't know right now. We just don't know what to really expect, man. They're not, like I said, they're not really playing very good football. I think they really just kind of been benefiting from their schedule right now, to be quite frank. Josh Allen definitely not off to great start that we're used to. And he came out the first couple of weeks, was on fire, but then it's just kind of been a little downhill, a little flat, downhill since then. And this is important game for Buffalo, man, because Buffalo need to come out here and they need to be able to show the ability to push a team like the Carolina Panthers around, man. Because if you want to be considered one of the elite teams in this league, not just the AFC conference, but in the entire league, you got to be able to beat up on teams like this. I'm not sure. Is Carolina starting Andy Dalton this week? I think maybe, perhaps.
I believe they might be starting Andy Dalton if Bryce Young is still injured. I think I heard something about that.
I mean, just Buffalo, to me, this game right now is like almost, I don't want to say it's not a do or die game, but it's just the point that but Buffalo needs to prove that they are truly one of the league's top teams in this league, man. So I'm gonna go with Buffalo here. I think they should be able to get the job done against Carolina, but it's gonna be out. But I almost wouldn't be shocked if Carolina pulled off the upset, because Buffalo has really been somewhat disappointing, man, over the last couple of weeks.
Absolutely loved what you said there. So Carolina's at home, back of America Stadium. They do have a veteran present in Andy Dalton. But yeah, for the sake of time, I'm going to agree with you. I think this is definitely a get-right game for Buffalo. I know they've been struggling a lot lately, and I think you said it perfectly. Carolina has kind of been blessed with the level of competition. If Carolina comes out and wins against Buffalo, that's a good statement, man. That's a get-right 5-2 record team right there, but I think it's more of a get-right game for the Buffalo Bills, so give me the Buffalo Bills in this one. Adam, are you back? All right, it will definitely come back to Adam when he gets back. For the next game, we should probably focus on is.
Sorry about that. What game was this?
Oh, yeah, this is perfect. You're back just in time. All righty, we both chose Buffalo in the Carolina versus Buffalo Bills game. Your thoughts on this? Who do you got? And just for you, just to recap of last week, you chose the Rams, Chargers, Falcons, and Bucks. I chose the Rams, Colts, 49ers, and Bucks.
How many did I get?
And then Matt chose. Okay, you was there that point. Perfect. Okay, so we got the Buffalo Bills versus Carolina Panthers. Who do you got in this one?
No, I'm saying how many did I get from last week?
Oh, how many did you get? Unfortunately, you only got one white, so you fell into last place at 7-7, but it can change week to
How
week.
did that
Uh,
happen?
yeah, the Rams, Chargers, and
I
Bucks.
picked the Chargers. That was they lost that. They won yesterday.
The
I
Colts
read
won,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Colts won last week.
Well, you know what? Screw you guys. Okay. I'm
Buffalo
gonna,
versus Panthers.
I'm gonna catch up this week. Buffalo Bills are winning this game. They need to. They've
Yep.
been on a skid. They're coming out. They've been on a lot of road games so far. They really got to cement themselves here. I think Mac picked Carolina, but
No, he picked Buffalo. We all picked Buffalo.
well, that's
You want to pick Panthers to get different?
You know what? I'm going to pick the Panthers just for that. Just
Andy Dalton is stored in. Do you really want to pick the Panthers with the veteran?
I guess I like the glutton for punishment. So I'll be the villain of the show. I'm going to go Carolina with the upset, baby.
Okay. At home, Carolina. I like that. All right, Adam. You get to pick the next game.
All right, next game. I will go. I want to talk.
The third game is going to be New York versus Philly, so we'll keep that for the third game. But what's the next game?
Can you go back to? I would say. Hold on.
It's a shitty week.
It really is a shitty week.
A lot of teams on bars, like 8 teams or 6 teams on bars.
I'm going to take the 49ers Texans game. I want to see if the I'm going to go with the 49ers here, but I think the Texans are on life support and they're going to need this game. It's in their building. Defensive coordinators, I think D'Amico Ryans was on that San Francisco staff as well. So, I think you're going to battle for that. So I'm going to pick the 49ers. I mean, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts.
Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to pick the Houston Texans just to get different. Definitely 49ers are playing great football. Who would have thought that Mac Jones would be able to do that? He had a couple of good weeks. Obviously, you got CMC doing his thing. And honestly, I'm not shocked, because they have Kyle Shanahan as their head coach, their elite coach in the NFL. But I'm going to go different. I'm going to go out on a limb. I think, CJ Stroud and, the Texans has been struggling lately. Hopefully they can get right. I mean, like, that team needs a win. And I think D'Amico Ryan is not a great coach, but he could be a great coach. He's a good coach. And hopefully he can get something right. I just don't like seeing fall-offs, right? How does the Texans fans feel, man? You guys won good season with CJ Stroud. Well, hopefully they get back on track. So I'm going to choose the Houston Texans. Go right ahead, Matt.
Taking the 49ers. Houston's offense is absolutely atrocious. It's terrible. and I don't see it getting right against the 49ers. I just don't see it happening. I just think the 49ers are going to continue to win the way they've been winning. I mean, it's going to play good team football, ride the legs of Christian McCaffrey. Mac Jones, as long as he's not doesn't make any critical mistakes, critical errors, I think he's been playing really good football, some of the best football of his career, to be quite frank. So I'm just going to 49ers here, man. I just think the Texans are just they've been maybe the biggest disappointment this season.
Absolutely love it.
We should do
one more.
We should do the Dallas Cowboys against the Chicago. Oh, actually, no. Timeout. Green Bay against Pittsburgh.
I was thinking of that one. Yeah, let's do that one.
Battle of the Aaron Rodgers revenge tour, so to speak, in Pittsburgh. I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers with the emotional win at home. They're going to try to win one for the old man in his debut against the Packers. So I'll take the Steelers in this game.
I like the Steelers. I think Aaron Rodgers is playing great football, but I think Michael Parsons' name is right up there in the defensive player of the year race, right up there in the MVP race, and I think he has a big showing on the Sunday Night Football. So give me Michael Parsons and the Green Bay Packers.
I'm going to Steelers here. I think Aaron Rodgers is only going to make it a point to really want to
exactly what I need you to do
to the Green Bay Packers. So I'm going to just go with the Steelers here, man. I think Aaron Rodgers is playing really, really good football right now at an elite level. Still at his age, still showing the Jets that they're idiots, proving week in and week out how stupid the Jets are as a franchise to run him out of town. But Aaron, I think I'm going Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers here. I was so high on Green Bay Packers after the first couple of weeks of the season, and I'm just not anymore. I'm pretty much they're phony balonies. Put it that way. They're phony balonies.
Damn, phony balonies.
To not make the Eagles one of the top teams that he anointed the Packers.
I
So
love
yeah,
it.
I'm going to Steelers here, man. Aaron Rodgers at home. Sunday night football, sticking it to his old team.
I love it. All right, guys. And then we got the final game. You guys want to add this to the picks or keep this pick out?
I mean, we can hear your picks. Me and Mac are kind of on. We kind of think Philadelphia's going to win, but
Alrighty. All right, let's add it. We'll put Eagles down for both, and I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say I know we signed just a couple of newsbreakers. I know we signed Ray McLeod to the practice squad. Hopefully he can make the team because I think he can help this team out. I know we get Slayton back. Looking at the rosters, the Eagles are gonna be down several cornerbacks and down the starting center. What that tells me that hopefully Dexter Lawrence can have a big game because not only are they down the starting center, they're also down the starting guard, right guard, I believe. Obviously, they still have elite Lane Johnson and fucking that Samoan beast Mahava as the left tackle and Johnson as the right tackle. And obviously, AJ Brown is still doing his things, and Blakely is gonna want to run fucking rampant on us. They just sound fucking Graham. Congratulations to Graham, but he's not gonna be starting this game. I don't know why they did that, old man. But hey, we'll see what happens. That being said, though, I'm gonna go with the Giants. Here's why I'm gonna go with the Giants because I think fucking Shane Bowen and this defense has something to fucking prove. I get it. Gun to my head, I'm picking the Philadelphia Eagles at the link. But guess what? There's no gun to my head, so I can get a little bit crazy. I'm gonna say big game by Dexter Lawrence. He actually shows up. I think Brian Burns is still questionable, but he should be able to play on Sunday. I don't think they activated Ray yet, but they do have Slayton back. And I'm gonna get a young Jackson Mahomes Dort, and I'm gonna ride with Jackson Mahomes Dort. So I'm gonna take Jackson Dort and the Giants in this one. So give me the Giants. But the season still is
I don't know if Max changed his mind, but last I talked, we were both on the same page. So I just
I still got the Eagles. I haven't changed my mind. I got the Eagles.
I just and here are certain things why. As much as I'm excited about the Giants, I just feel the Eagles, need the game more than the Giants do at this point. And, the Giants blew their shot last week. That last week was the season for me. If they had gotten back and beaten Denver, this game all but is for the division, because you win this game, they're 5-3, you're 4-4 at that point, and they're in a bye week, so you can probably catch them with the next game with the 49ers coming in, right? But the 49ers have a big game against the Texans, right? They fly across. They're playing in Texas. Then they're going to come across and play the Giants. The Giants had a chance to really, I feel, change the narrative where the season's going. And I just think, while I believe what you believe, in the excitement, it's hard to beat a team twice, and it's hard to beat one that is just eyeing for you. Isn't you know what I mean? Like they've been thinking about this for 10 days. This Eagle team has been thinking about this, right? They want another crack at these guys. And it's not me that's saying, it's them themselves who are just so like they don't care. They didn't talk about the Vikings. They didn't talk about nothing. They're talking about this game, right? And whether you want to believe that it's psyche or whatnot, I just believe they're getting a couple guys back. Jalen Carter's going to be in this game. They got another cornerback that's going to come back. I know they lost AJ Brown, but hey, you still have Barkley back there. Let's see what your chops are as an offensive coordinator, as a head coach. How are you going to lean on it? Because the Giants' defense, while you believe it's good, it's ranked in the bottom of the league in a lot of categories. And a lot of the categories that the Eagles do well in. One, passing. Adebo's out. You still have Devontae Smith. They had 100 yards with their tight end last week. They're going to find a way to move the football downfield. So I just think the Eagles have quietly had this weird season. And I think if they can win into the bye week and go 6-2, they're going to come out of the bye week a different team. I think they're going to make more adjustments than they already have. Guys will come back healthy, and they'll be ready for the march of the 9-game march that they're going to have, where they just need to kind of, they always do it, right? You get and you talk about Brandon Graham. Let's mention him. I don't think they're bringing him back because he's a great pass rusher. I think they're bringing him back for leadership. To kind of
leadership, yeah.
In the locker room, kind of be like the courthouse, the court, the judge, kind of like guys get on the same page. Like we're a championship caliber team. He will help in the depth of the pass rush, but I think he was brought back mostly for that. AJ Brown's acting up. There's a lot of drama going on. I think you want to bring in an elder statesman to kind of be like, all right, guys, what the fuck are you beefing about? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So I don't
It's
know.
funny too because we just seen him on like fucking a post game talk show.
I know. Yeah. Well, hey, off the couch, fresh off the couch.
That's
But
a good Thursday Night Football. Yeah.
and they
You know
got
why, Adam? It's just like I know you get this feeling too because I know you understand it. It's almost as if like we went out there, we shut the bed in the New Orleans, and after that game, like everybody's talking about the end of the season, which we all slowly believed it is, right? And I don't think this team is any position. I think we all know it's a foundation year. And then we go in there and we do what we do against the Chargers, right? And then we do it. Sorry, that was before the same game. Then we do what you do against the Eagles, right? And then we come out and this defense holds up for 3 quarters, which is not good enough because the last time I checked, football is 4 fucking quarters. So just as much as you held the best defense to 0 fucking points for 3 fucking quarters, you let up 33 in the 4th quarter, which is not fucking acceptable. But one thing that stood out to me is when Jackson Dort's at the fucking press conference, he's a leader and he's all like, that can't happen. That interception, that can't happen. So when I hear him and Scalaboo on the fucking plane flying back from the New Orleans Jets, New Orleans Saints games, and they do what they do against the fucking Eagles, then they lose like that. I think this team and Brian Burns, I think this team is like, yo, it's not gonna happen. And it's almost as if like if we didn't go out like the way we did, it's almost as if like I think Jackson Dort's gonna play one of his fucking best football games of his life on Sunday. And I'm right. And there's just the dog in him. And I know you guys feel that. No. And I just feel that the Eagles, they're a fucking good team, but they're out fucking key pieces. 2 starting linemen and 2 fucking cornerbacks. And you have fucking Jackson Mahomes coming to fucking town. Good luck. Good fucking luck. Well, I'm such a fucking fan.
What I'm worried about is, do my defensive players believe in this?
Yes.
Do they believe that they're going to be put in the right spots here? Because, he was aggressive against the Eagles. The Eagles maybe they can expect that. Maybe they're going to now know how to counter that punch, right? If they aren't aggressive, this is what we're going to do. If they are aggressive, this is what we're going to do, right? Shane Bowen.
It's hard to fucking beat Vic twice. And beat fucking,
My point is that if you don't believe in the leadership that's out there, which they clearly don't, and they may put on whatever face they want, they're going to go out there and play hard because that's what they do. Brian Burns plays hard. But when the chips get down, let's say they're down, right, and the Eagles take the lead, how are they going to believe, like this defense is going to stop them? Jackson Dart might excite you, but look what they did with Bo Nix, and we think Hurts can be somewhat dangerous as well. Look what he did with his legs in that game. What if Kayvon Thibodeau crashes down? That's what Sean Payton did. He was like, oh, you crashed down? I'll just run a bootleg to the outside. In-game adjustment. It was an in-game adjustment they made. They utilize their stuff.
I do think that they're gonna score. Like, I don't think it's gonna be a shootout, but I do think it's gonna be probably like a 28-24 type of game, right? But I just think that like as long as Jackson Dort goes in there and not makes mistakes and the line can hold up for him, and Andrew Thomas is playing fucking great football, by the way, forgot to mention his ass. And Dexter Lawrence is yet to have a game. Dexter Lawrence is like, fucking, where the fuck are you? I get it, you're double coverage and you always have 4 hands on you. But if this is the fucking game, bro, you have a rookie fucking right tackle and a fucking rookie, or not rookie, unexperienced fucking center. So, and that's where you fucking line up, bro. So it's almost like if you can't fucking get there, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. And that's why I'm hoping that, like, in the 4th quarter, it's not fucking a mile fucking high. And I'm not going to use that as a fucking excuse. But I'm thinking, like, yo, conserve fucking energy. And, yo, fucking all you motherfuckers, all 4 of you motherfuckers, show up in the 4th quarter and we win this fucking game. And mind you, Shane Bowen, love the fact that you said that at your press conference. Why the fuck was Dexter Lawrence on the fucking sideline in that Denver game in a key situation? Do better job on fucking putting your players in situations and get them in the fucking football.
But that's what I mean. But that's what I'm. That's what
you mean.
It's like the tiger don't change his stripes. Shane Bowen's not going to come out and find the elixir on Sunday to be like, the Giants defense has holes.
That's a good one.
They have big time holes, right? They do. They just don't.
They do. Yeah.
They're worse. They gave up 150 yards rushing last week. They gave up over 200 yards passing. They're one of the bottom of the barrel of defense, and it's we're going to be wrapping up the show anyways, Mac, but have a good night. The point I'm trying to make is I agree with you that we can win the game, and I'm excited to play them. But there's many factors to me that just like that game was emotionally draining right? And there's plenty of blame to go around, and that doesn't leave you. That loss doesn't leave you like the New Orleans loss. Oh, I don't.
Yeah, it's not like just next opponent up and you lose like that. Yeah,
New Orleans,
I feel that.
New Orleans
Fucking
was a
20-something points in 5 minutes or something.
Right, but what I'm saying is, New Orleans was a fixable.
Yeah.
Oh, 5 turnovers. Denver was an epic collapse. That is one of the things you're going to remember for a long time. And I'm just saying the emotional toll that took on this team is going to probably show up in this game at some point, because whether it's not going to be mile high air, but as you know, the Eagles got an offense. I don't care if they have nobody playing at receiver, they can still score points. And I think they're going to. And I just think they understand what this game means. And they really are taking it to heart, the beatdown that we gave them, which is good. But that emotional game, what are the Giants going to do? That's what scares me, is this defense is not as good as it looks. But even though they played a fantastic game, all the warts came out in a few sittings. And they got outsmarted in 5 minutes because they couldn't hold the mental fortitude to hold it together. And it's a coaching thing that is really the problem. And that's why I'm worried. It's just because I don't care if they win this game. They still have the 49ers next, who are going to come in looking to be the top seed. You got the Lions and the Green Bay and Chicago, who are going to be there. There are going to be other games that this team is going to fall, whether it's so while you might beat the Eagles and get to win 3, can you sustain not believing in a coach? Because there's going to be other teams that are going to score points, and you're going to look at it like the Giant defense again. We're going to talk about the Giant defense didn't hold up. The Giant defense didn't hold up. And we're going to be like, well, why didn't we fire this guy after fucking the Denver meltdown? You know what I mean?
That's valid. That's absolutely facts.
That's why I'm worried, is because I love Jackson. I love what he's doing. I think the Giants are fantastic to watch. I don't think he should keep Brian Dable's job if he does well and the Giants don't make the playoffs. I think he should be fired if you can get a better coach, right? But at the end of the day,
don't do that. He's still gonna perform. You shouldn't give up on one of the best players in the NFL.
I think they're gonna lean on him a little bit more with the injuries that they have. Mm-hmm. I think they have to. I think they're not going to be able to chuck it. I think it'll help them too, because they were also dominating running game. Like, people forget, like, the Eagles were moving the football up and down the field on our defense. They just could not hold up on third down, and that's what happened. So they don't grow from that beating, bro. I'm sorry. Like, you can say use your brains, not use your brains. It's an epic meltdown.
He says, okay, I got you. I'm talking about the comment. He says beating the Eagles twice in 3 weeks is a lot. And that is absolutely.
Well, the thing about this is an epic loss like that. That's one of the top 5 in the history of the game. I don't understand if you understand the magnitude of what happened. Okay, let me break it down for you. In 50 years, every team that had 18 plus point deficit. I don't care about 4.5 quarters of shutout ball. What does that do? They lost the fucking game in the last 5 minutes in a meltdown. You're going to tell me that you care about the 4.5 quarters that they look pretty? I'm great. I'm glad that we won the game, the 4.5 quarters that we played. We lost the fucking 5 minutes of the game in an epic meltdown because what? We're going to give them excuses, mile high air? Give me a fucking break. Oh, Phillips doesn't tackle Evan Ingram down the sideline? Come on. Like, don't give me that. You guys got to use your brain and see how the incompetence that the team went through in that 5 minutes, both on offense and defense. It's not young learning experience. That's a heartbreaking loss. You don't want to lose a game like that. A heartbreaking experience is, oh, we lost to the Eagles. They're just a better team than us. Not winning the game, dominating fashion, and then saying, "Oh, it evaporated in 5 minutes because of the mistakes that were made."
I think that's what I do love that point, but I think that's what he's kind of getting at. It's like, you can't ignore that. Like, we took what we did in Philly. I'm
not ignoring it. He's a bad DC, bro. You can tell me all you want about dominating. It's in the record. They're the 28th worst defense in the league. Okay, they are. They are one of the worst defenses against the run. This vaunted pass rush is not even in the top 10 in pass rush. Kayvon Thibodeau has 2.5 sacks. Brian Byrne has 9. The rest of the team don't have that many. So don't sit here and tell me that we have a fucking, all this great shit. Like, give me a break. So did the play calling, mother effer. Who gives a shit? Yeah, I said on both sides of the ball. That's exactly what I said. The coaching melted down this game. So whatever you want to say, we can believe in the defense, and you can think that they did great. They did great for 4.5 quarters. The game is played for fucking 4. Okay, not 3.5 and 3 and 5 minutes. Okay, everybody's to blame. It's an epic.
It is definitely epic meltdown, and I do agree
then
with that.
Stop arguing with me if you're not arguing with me. I mean,
you can't give up participation trophies to fucking a team that did good for 3 fucking quarters when you didn't show up in crucial times when you needed. And when you put a defense on paper, this defense was all this talk about showing up in the fourth quarter, and that's why it's like I'm like as a realistic fan, I should be more of a, you know, this team shouldn't have any life. But then again, it's almost as if like I know you agree with me on this statement. It's just like Jackson Doyle is almost as if like, man, he's something special, and if anybody, he can probably do it. And but this defense is this defense gonna get on fucking board, right? Is this defense gonna finally realize like, hey, motherfuckers, like, can we actually do something? Because if anything is like, we should be 5 wins. We should be eliminated from the playoff race. But
for 5,
yeah,
how many games have we lost? 5. They've been a problem for a lot of the losses. Okay, there's a reason we're 2 and 5. Okay, so I'm not going to sit here and not say that the team didn't have a meltdown. Yeah, Brian Dable shouldn't be running the ball at 3rd and 5. How about you call a timeout when Brian Burns is fucking injured? Okay, this loss is an epic loss in Giant history because of the magnitude and the history to which it happened. 18, I was saying 50 years. In 50 years, teams with 18 plus points don't lose the game. There's a 1,600 games played. Not one loss happened until the Giants lost. That's how epic that was. That's something you never see. And that's why I'm saying we're sitting here right now talking about this loss still to this moment. You don't think that resonates with these players? Like, holy shit, how did we lose that fucking game? How did we do that? You know what I mean?
And I love that point, but like I think you and Miz, Miz is not here to defend himself, but I do get what he's saying too. It's almost as if like he gets it. He couldn't sleep that like he said, but the big picture is almost as if like if anybody's hurting, and I think you said this already, but like it's the players, right? So it's like, how the fuck do you respond against adversity, right? So if you had a whole shitty week at work and you show up that next Monday, you don't want to repeat that shitty week. And yes, it's a heartbreaking loss, but that shouldn't define you as a fucking player, right? So when these players come out and take the field on Sunday, I want to see like them fight even harder because they got their asses kicked, and in the fourth quarter, not fucking be laughing and fucking celebrating, even if they're up by a touchdown or 2 touchdowns or 3 fucking touchdowns, which highly unlikely that we're gonna be up by 3 touchdowns. But this needs to be a shit like, hey, yo, like, calm the fuck down, calm down. And because at the end of the day, like, we're not a fucking good team. We don't know how to fucking win games. And we definitely had a total collapse last week in Denver. So, like, how the fuck are you going to respond knowing that, like,
exactly.
Conversation is still fucking being talked about on a fucking Friday, right? By media, too. Not just by us, by mainstream media.
Right. Absolutely. And all I'm saying is, like, the mental makeup of this game is, like, this game, it was an out of body experience. You know, you said you were texting how good we're gonna do. Max texting me, "Oh my God, we're back in the playoff," and it's gone in a matter of seconds. In seconds that happened because you're undisciplined, you're not a good football team, and you're not ready for the big time. But yes, while the loss is great, because losses are great. When have losses been great? They're not. You lose the game. I don't care if you lose by 1 or you lose by you lose by 100. You still lost. This one was bad because you were dominating the game from start. They couldn't do anything, and they put up 200 yards of offense in 5 minutes, and it was bad because of how it happened. They could have, and what I'm saying is these trends have happened throughout the season. And to me, I'm just saying the mental psyche is, I know Jackson Dart's going to come out. He's 22 years old. He ain't got nothing to lose. But what is this team going to do if they get down or Shane Bowman drops again? Like, what's going to happen? Because the thing is this, no one knows what's going to happen now because we're going to have to wait and see what happens with 2 minutes left in the half. Is he going to drop 8 or is he going to be aggressive?
But you know what's crazy to me, Adam, and I get no meds. I get both sides. And that's the worst Giants loss we have ever seen. But you know what? Also, Mets, and I don't agree. I don't disagree. But I want to be
Deshaun Jackson was
we haven't.
really bad.
We have to wrap this up. We have to wrap this up too. It's been going on for almost 2 hours. But last statement I'm going to make is, like, I think what Miz said what he said, and I'm not trying to play devil's. I'm not trying to defend him. I'm just playing devil's advocate. Is I haven't seen this fucking defense hit the way they fucking hit for over fucking 3 fucking years. The way they was hitting fucking Denver, they got fucking, it didn't show up in the fourth quarter at all, but it did show up in the game. And if they can just give that energy in the Eagles at Lincoln, hopefully we can do something. That being said,
no mercy.
You want to say something, Adam?
I said no mercy. Sweep the leg. I'm not giving moral victories here. I'm tired of doing that. I'm just tired of giving these guys, 3.5 quarters. No, you play to win the game. Fucking win it. Find a way to win. Yeah. Don't find ways to fucking lose every week. That's what they do. And until they figure out how to find ways to win, I'm not having confidence that this is going to be sustained.
Absolutely, facts. That being said, guys, hey, thank you guys so much for coming out. You guys was holding on the chat for sure. Thank you, Mac, absolutely showing up. Obviously he's working and he's showing up while he's at work. So really appreciate Mac. He had to kind of dip kind of early. And thank you, Adam, for bringing in the premium takes as always. We're gonna throw our furs up for our buddy Jeffrey Turner, RIP, him flying with angels up there. That being said, though, thank you guys so much for joining this edition of the Premium Takes. A little bit longer than usual, but that's what happens sometimes when you're having good conversations about sports. And that being said, you guys have a great one. Until next time, that being said, you guys have a good one.